Okay, so last year we talked about rational numbers. Quick review of what a rational number is. It's any number that can be expressed as A over B. Okay, so things like 1/2, 3.5, because that's the same as 7 over 2. 3.5, even though it looks like a decimal, it can still be written like this, which also is this. So those are things that would be called a rational number. What's going to be new for you this year, sorry guys, is an irrational number. Okay, an irrational number is numbers that cannot be represented as a simple fraction or A over B. So this would be things like decimals that repeat. So that is something like 1.3 with the bar on it, because that means that 3 just keeps on going. Something else that repeats is pi. All we ever talk about is 3.14, but this number keeps on going. So those two would be examples of irrational numbers. This also comes into play with our next little topic. It's called a square root. We have to know what an irrational number is before we can talk about what a square root is. Okay, so last is a square root. This is a number that produces I don't know why there's such a bad glare. Oh well. That produces a specified quantity when multiplied by itself. Okay. So something we haven't talked about since last year is when we square a number. So something like this, 7 squared. This means 7 times 7, and that equals 49. So the inverse of a squared number is the square root of a number. So the square root of 49 is 7, because it's 7 times 7. So these two are the same thing. You're going to get that same piece of information. With that being said, you have to know all of the ones up to the square root of 225. All right, these are ones that you should have memorized. But what happens when you have something like the square root of 70. That's the part for you to think about. We will talk about it in class tomorrow.